Was that an actual question about the shoe in the last one?
Yes, it was unplanned and it was 4 stops overexposed. So at every given juncture, I couldn't use the scene because it was not, it was bleached out, like, I couldn't, in terms of exposure. But I think the content was overwhelming, and when we were at the editing table, you tend to structure your experience in a certain fashion. And this was the decisive moment which made me stay for a few more days. So, yes, it was unplanned. You wait for such moments in a documentary to happen.
Do you find this lifestyle, Madhavi's lifestyle, benefiting in present world? Can a contemporary city-bred person live like that?
It just helped me understand money in my life. That is something that I could never, fathom. What is money? So it was a time when I quit my job and I went to a different way of life. So there was a lot of anxieties about money that was troubling me. And I think if there is regarding vis-a-vis your question, when it comes to a city person going to a very idyllic place like this where there are no anxieties of traveling to work and where your stay, food and shelter is taken care of, it's a very complacent, comfortable life. You are not pushed to your limits. But when a city person goes, I think what I bought back after spending time here was how much do I actually need? If you come to my house, it's very bare because, those are the things I need and it is there. So it just makes my life less cluttered. I don't feel anxious about money as much I used to do earlier because I know how much I need and how much is the calculation going. Yeah.
But what about the thorns and the snake and, the pudgy life and money and, all that kind of thing, the discomfort of physical, no clean roads. How did you find it easy to adjust to all that?
No, there's no discomfort per se. You didn't need roads there. Hi, Mamta. Yeah.
So you have probably the least organic of all activities. So how do you resolve that? Because, I was just thinking one was to turn the frame around with so much technology around. I mean, it's so super close, if you were to try and then...
Yes, at the end of the day, you're constructing a story out of your experience. See, your intentions are very clear, that you want to make a film, and you go, as you know, that you go planning your shoots, that you want to shoot this. And in between such accidents happen. Suddenly a snake crops up, suddenly a shoe incident happens, suddenly something happens, and suddenly you call your mother and she says, this is what it is. So yes, it is a very constructed experience in terms of it, but when on a very tangential manner, it helped me understand how do you simplify the process of filmmaking itself. The art of recycling your tapes, the art of doing your paperwork stronger than spending a lot of time on the timeline. It is also understanding what kind of resources you need to finish this film. So it's a tangential one, but it came down to how less expensive you can get while making a film. What do you need? So, and the fact is to a very large extent, I killed a lot of laziness in me. Instead of traveling with 4 or 5 people on the shoots, I started having only 2 or 3 people, which means that I was doing more work. It was labor intensive. So on that level, it's somewhere in the air. So yes, it is a construction. Yeah. Yes.
In this ashram, do you have a lot of people coming and staying, or it was just a freak? You were the only one, and there's nobody but Madhavi in the whole place, so just about 4 or 5.
No, It's open to all. You can just walk in anytime. You pay very less rent, like for a room to stay. In exchange, you do labor in the kitchen, like you clean few things and you dust, and things are taken care of. A lot of on an everyday basis, there are like 2 to 3,000 people who come here and as tourists. Yeah, in a month. So a lot of tourists who come and they just walk around and buy the right kind of books, they buy the right kind of shirts, and they just walk away. And it's a very touristy kind of place. But a lot of foreigners come, stay, do some introspection, and walk away. So yes, it's a place. It's in Wardha. It's 9 hours from Bombay and from the city, and you can just walk in.
Given that you were anxious about money and it's your own personal journey, when did you realize that you wanted to turn the camera on yourself and be in the film as well? Other than, in a general documentary, you would just be following the main character and, see how that unravels. Mm-hmm. So how did you sort of figure where you would come in and how that would work?
Madhavi had spent a lot of time in the ashram before we actually started rolling, and before we actually she decided that she wanted to make a film. So she had a very good sense of what was happening, and constantly there was this dialogue between Madhavi and Madhavi about two different lifestyles. So we figured from the word go when we started rolling that invariably somewhere or the other she will start on, so at every point of time you see, even when she's cutting the grass, she has her own opinion, So we were just very lucky that we got that fantastic moment with the snake, or even with that shoot, we were just prepared for it.
Where have you exposed this film? Have you tried foreign television? Has it been
This was commissioned by NHK Japan.
What about America, UK?
Well, we don't have the rights. So it's up to NHK Japan to explore whatever they want to do with the film.
Oh, it's owned by Japan?
Yes, NHK Japan, that's the counterpart, what we have, Doordarshan over here, that's NHK Japan. So they own the film.
But any idea where they have exposed it?
Well, it was on national telecast all over Japan. Yeah.
No, because I see, why I'm asking this question is because I see a lot of negative publicity today for India, in America particularly. So have we made any efforts to show them, because we are showing that there's a lot over here that the Americans can learn about India. Have we shown?
I think it's better we deal with our own problems, not getting into preaching America what to do and what is Gandhi all about. They have access to a lot of stuff. It's like, yes, the film was sent to n number of film festivals, it got rejected. I cannot show the film independently because NHK has the rights, and I can show the film anywhere in India. And I think this is the first space where people laughed. So it's kind of slow. It's not the kind of documentary that you expect. Nothing happens. It's not it's not activist driven. So you need that. Yeah.
What was your reaction to the previous films that we saw in how have you figured out, looking for Gandhi, you also in some way have...
Okay, a letter to Hitler. I think it was a very easy letter for Gandhi to write to Hitler.
Relevant to today, the letter to Hitler?
Yeah, very much, because he says, see, we are dealing with Hitlers in India too. They come as in the form of Britishers, but we are dealing with them in a certain fashion, but I don't hate you. See, it's a very problematic position of I know everything, thou and everything. But yes, it's a sweet reminder of the potential of what a dialogue can do. For me, when I was watching the first film, it was like truth begins with a dialogue. Here we were trying to have a dialogue with them, and Hitler was going ahead with his agendas. The second film is demystifying Gandhi, that 5 rupees per autograph was something that I will like now spread on Facebook what's on my mind. So like yeah, it was like, you demystify this person because somewhere we have created so much of hawa about him, like he's like an icon, he's a symbol, but actually my interpretation of him is that he's a process, like he has his own limitations. He was a terrible husband, like I wish no one gets a husband like that, but he asked few questions and he had his own little solutions, and I think that makes me think a bit. And Ramani is Ramani. Like, I wish you all watch more of his films because there is a certain enduring spirit in that. Like, even a kid was sitting and like just watching that sketch being made. Again, he doesn't make Gandhiji an event there. He makes him a process, and that's the kind of process I'm interested in. So I'll never make another film on Gandhi because that film I no longer apply. Just go and buy another pair of shoes. But he just gave me that anchor to deal with my anxieties at that point. So that's it.
Well, I appreciate your work and you have done a wonderful job over here. I would like to advise you should advise the Prime Minister or Prime Minister to be a Malti brand ambassador, because they say that 30 rupees is enough to live.
You'll be surprised. I mean, all prime ministers, I would say strategically, they go and spend 2 days in Sevagram Ashram. Manmohan Singh was there years ago. Of course, the entire area was cordoned off. Nobody could enter the ashram. That's beside the point. But they all go and I presume they think that they can get some kind of energy from there. But yeah, it happens. I mean, every minister, you name it, everybody would. It is there on their map, on their itinerary. Yeah.
So you seem to be inspired by Malcolm's song regarding your anxiety and money.
Yeah.
But could you inspire her in some way from your city life?
She's still not given up her cell phone. So I know Malti personally for 2 years now, and I want her to leave the ashram because that's when the real connectivity will happen. And I want her to leave that place as soon as possible because it after a point of time it can get very oppressive, and that's what is happening.